Welcome back to Behind the Roast, the podcast where we sit down with people behind the coffee, the owners, roasters, and creators shaping the coffee community one cup at a time. Today's episode takes us to Saratoga Springs, where we sit down with Christine, the owner of Broadway Coffee. For the past 3 years, she's been building something special right in the heart of the city, creating a space to bring people together through coffee, conversations, and communities. But her story doesn't stop. Christine is stepping into a brand new chapter, transitioning into a world of nursing while continuing the journey with Broadway Coffee. In this episode, we take a deep look on how Broadway Coffee is coming to life, the challenges, the wins of running a local coffee shop, and what the future holds for both Christine and the cafe. So grab your cup of coffee and let's get into it. Christine, welcome to the show. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
I'm doing good. Can you give a little bit of information about yourself so all of our listeners and audience know mainly about you?
I own Broadway Coffee Saratoga, a coffee shop in Saratoga Springs. But outside of owning the shop, I have 2 kids. I am a doula, so I attend births and work with people during pregnancy and postpartum. And I am going to be going to nursing school in the fall, but nobody else really knows about that yet.
Man, you're keeping a secret.
Well, you're
Well,
the first to know, breaking the tea on the podcast.
Uh-oh. Now everybody's going to know that you're going to become a nurse now. What made you decide, you going from coffee to nursing? Like, what's going on? Is there something different or like...
I just haven't really decided what I want to be when I grow up, I guess. And I love owning a coffee shop, but I also am sort of like, will I do that for the rest of my life? Like, will I own a coffee shop when I'm 55? And so I constantly feel like I'm like trying to cushion myself for the future while also like, enjoying the present of owning and running the shop.
So what made you decide to start your own coffee adventure?
So it actually started with a different business. When I first moved to Saratoga, I opened a kids play space that at the time my kids were younger. Like I think my little one was like not even 2. And I didn't really know anybody. And so I was sort of like, I'm going to open a space for families to come and hang out. And I did that and it was amazing. And I met so many people through it. Like it helped me kind of get up and running in a new town and get to know people. But I was always sort of like, the one thing this place is missing is coffee. Like parents need coffee. Everyone needs coffee. So I kind of just wished that I could have a cafe space in that space. It didn't really work out that way. I wasn't really outfitted to be able to have a cafe there. And then actually I was just scrolling on Instagram one day and saw that the shop that I'm currently in was for sale. It used to be called the Broadway Grind. It was for sale. I literally was just like, oh my gosh, I need to buy this coffee shop. I tend to make like sort of impulsive decisions in my life that tend to work out for the most part. But I just really always had this desire to own a coffee shop. And I never would have like started one from scratch. Like it was sort of like the perfect time in my life, the perfect circumstances to like that this shop was for sale and it was already built and it was already made, because it never would have happened had it wouldn't be for me buying an existing shop.
Yeah, that's awesome. And like, how many years have you owned it so far since you bought the shop?
So it will be 3 years this summer. Like the purchase happened in May, but we weren't open till September because we were waiting for all the licenses and permits and things. So in September, it'll be 3 years that we've been open.
Oh, look at that. Congratulations onto a 3-year milestone. I'm happy for you. Like, what are the struggles like
Thank you.
since you bought the coffee shop, and like what have you learned as you progress through your 3 years?
So much. Like I would have to talk for 7 hours if I was going to tell you all the lessons I've learned, but some main ones, I guess, like your people are everything, like your staff. It took a while to kind of find a groove with, how to manage. I had never been like a boss before, really. Kind of me giving them enough like leeway to kind of make the shop their own while also having it still be mine, if that makes sense. I really had
Yes.
to learn that, like had to be like, okay, yes, like we can do it the way you want to do it. And that was kind of hard for me at first, like adjusting to not doing everything by yourself because my natural instinct is to do it myself. And just finding the right people that you can trust and that see your vision and can kind of carry forth that vision when you're not there is huge. And that was really sort of the first lesson I learned. Another really important lesson is to kind of like specific to Saratoga, I think, is the seasonality of the business during the summer months when track season is in full swing. Like we are super busy, we are slammed. And then in the winter, it is like you could hear tumbleweeds blowing down Broadway some days. It's so slow. So having to like budget for the slow months during the busy months is a lesson that year 3 now I'm finally like, all right, I think I got it covered. Like I think I know what we're going to do and how we're going to be good, but it took a while to get there.
Yeah, definitely. And you have to come up with creative ideas to get those people to come into your shop. Like I see that you're doing the whole like kids thing late at night,
Mhm. Mhm.
like the mom and kids lessons and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. They get to enjoy coffee and then you get to have the local community be together and stuff. The one thing that I really miss was doing the barista like training and stuff.
We can
That's
do
what you
that
should bring
again.
back.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
loved that. It's really fun. I could absolutely do that again. I loved getting to see other people kind of like use the equipment that we use every day and we kind of like think is, it just comes naturally to us, but then other people trying to figure out how to like get the portafilter into the machine and seeing the flavors that people come up with. So we should definitely do that again. That's the other thing is like we're always down to do things that people are like, "Hey, I have an idea for whatever." We really love kind of hosting events and stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's really cool, and then did you ever did a yoga one too at one point?
Yep. Yep. We've done yoga. We've done so many things. We've done yoga. We even hosted a wedding. I don't know if you knew that.
I
Someone got
seen that.
married. Someone got married at the shop, which was awesome. It was a like a regular. He reached out to me randomly and was like, "Hey, I have 2 friends that are looking for like a last minute wedding venue for only a couple of people." And I was like, "Yes." We've done like lots of different classes. We've had cookie decorating classes. We've had markets where people come sell like their wares, different crafts and things like that. So we've done a lot. We've even had tattoos. We had a tattoo pop up,
Yeah,
lots
that's
of
pretty
things.
cool. That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's keeping your business actually fresh and adding more, things to it, and it's pretty cool. And I see that you started doing a lot more of the social media posting and then some videos here and there, which is how's
Mhm.
that gone so far with promoting and getting your business where it needs to be where more people are engaged to come over to your coffee shop?
Yeah, it's awesome. I love social media. I think it's really fun. Like me and Grace and Rain who work at the shop will often like see videos that we want to recreate. We have like a whole Instagram chat where we'll like send each other posts and be like, we should do this or like we should do that. And it's really made a huge difference in terms of getting people to see why they should come to our shop and what makes us unique and what makes us different because that's another huge lesson I think that you have to learn as a owner, especially in the coffee space. Like there's so many coffee places, but what makes you special and why should someone come to you? So social media really gives you the chance to kind of differentiate yourself and showcase what makes you special.
Yeah, definitely. And that's the biggest key and tool to help definitely grow your business. And that's the one thing that I see some shop owners are doing and some aren't utilizing that because you have a content
Mhm.
engine creating in your own space and having your staff being more involved and then
Yes.
creating those menus and making those drinks and doing fun skits. We'll
Yeah.
definitely see how good the environment is when it comes to your coffee shop and your platform and like, oh, come to Broadway Coffee. We have the friendliest staff and we're doing these crazy trends and so on and so forth. That's a good thing that you have
Yeah.
and you're doing very well at it.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it's really important to like showcase your personality as a shop or as a brand. There's so many, like I said, like so many shops out there, and sometimes they can be kind of like, what's your vibe? Like you're just kind of like there. And so to show like who we are and kind of like that we're all kind of just silly and like not necessarily taking ourselves too seriously and we have fun at work. I think it's kind of important to show your personality, whatever that is, as a business owner.
Yeah. And like, how do you keep up with the trends when it comes to drinks? Because there are so many different trends out there,
Oh
especially
my
in
god, I
social
know.
media. It's just crazy. Like, Are you the type that wants to keep up with the trend, or you want to create your own trend that people can follow you as a business owner and your creative ideas
Yeah,
when it
that's
comes
a
to
good
making?
question. I
Mm.
feel like it's sort of a little bit of both. We definitely like there are certain trends like cold foam. Everything has cold foam on it now. Like people are like it's almost not enough to just make a drink anymore. Like now it has to have a topping on it and cold foam and like, all these different things. So I think like incorporating some of that and realizing that like, we kind of have to stick to some of the trends, but also coming up with our own unique flavors. Like Grace, one of our baristas, is really kind of the genius behind a lot of our flavor combinations. Like she just has this, I don't know, magical talent of like being like, I think this flavor and this flavor and this flavor would go good together. And sometimes I'm like, I don't know. And then she'll make it and I'm like, oh my God, it's genius. So I think like partially staying relevant as far as like what's going on in the coffee world, but then also not being afraid to like make it our own and kind of be unique.
Yeah, she does an amazing job. I love her artwork when it comes to doing the menu board and then the creative, like, names for the drinks that she comes up with. It's just out of this world,
Yeah,
and
that's
she does a really good job.
Rain. Grace comes up with the drinks and Rain makes the menu. The two of
Yeah.
them are like just the best.
They're the dynamic duo, and they're
Yeah.
definitely helping you guys. I love coming to your place just to see, like, the energy and the vibes, and it's just great to see those 2 very happy and just very goofy when you walk in and just having a
Yeah.
good time and just making those drinks. They do a
Yeah.
phenomenal job.
And that's what's so really, really important to me, like, as a business owner, is that my staff is happy and is happy at work because I feel like it affects the customer when someone is miserable. Like, if you go in to get a cup of coffee and the person helping you looks like they'd rather be anywhere but where they are, it affects the entire experience, and my goal when someone comes into our shop is that they feel welcomed, that they like feel like this is a place where they could hang out, that they feel recognized. And being a small shop, we have kind of the time and space to treat our customers like that. Yes, we get busy, but we aren't like this huge sort of machine that takes the sort of personal interaction out of coffee, which I think is really important.
Yeah, the energy is just really great. It's kind of like you're trying to compete with other coffee shops too. So, like, right down the road, you have Bear Cup Bakehouse that just recently opened, and they've been like so packed. The thing is, too, is like there was a video that went up with her and her shop, and somebody didn't like their coffee because it tasted burnt. And I
Mm.
put a comment on there saying that the coffee's not that great. I says their pastries, they're good, but their coffee is not that great. And I says, if you want to get good coffee, go right down the road to Broadway Coffee.
Thank
That's
you.
what I said, and she got so pissed off that I said that on the comments on TikTok that I'm pretty much banned from that place. I'm no
Oh,
longer invited.
no. Well, we're also 2 really different businesses, so I don't necessarily see us as competing with anybody else. We're sort of competing with ourselves to, like, be the best version of ourselves because, they are a bakery and have, like, amazing, incredible pastries, and for us, pastries are just kind of like our side, like, yeah, we got them, but, like, that's not our thing. So, we really kind of, just stick to what we're good at and do our thing and try to have fun and hopefully it kinda pays off.
Yeah, and the coffee, it's crazy though because a lot of big businesses, like corporate businesses like Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts, they're pretty much shrinking, and a lot of local coffee shops are just popping up everywhere. And it's just like so hard to keep up with what's going on because there's so many coffee shops just within a half a mile radius, or right
Yeah.
down the road. It's just out of this world. Like you've seen a lot of small coffee shop owners just popping up here, there, there. They're like all over the place. Like, how is that like with your business? Like, how does that affect you and like your business and everything?
Yeah, I try not to, like, let it affect me. There have been times where I have felt like huge imposter syndrome or like, who am I to like try to compete with these other bigger places? I remember like when Starbucks reopened down the street on Broadway, when we first opened, they were closed. They were closed for like our first 2 years and then they reopened and I was nervous. Like I was like, okay, is Starbucks being down the road going to affect our business? And I am a firm believer that, like, there's someone for everyone, like, there's a coffee shop for everyone out there. There's a like I said, I'm a doula. Like, there's a doula for everyone out there. Like, there's room for everybody to have their own niche. So I really try to just, like, stay positive and, like, not to get woo woo, but, like, just manifest good vibes. Like, you can get really down on, like, trying to keep up with other people or, like, trying to compete or, like, worrying about who's doing what. And I kinda had to learn to, like, put up a wall and be like, "Nope, we're just gonna focus on the positive, stay moving forward in our own little space," and that's kind of how I deal with it.
Yeah, definitely. And the biggest key is too is consistency when it comes to making your drinks. Like if your staff is keep on making consistent drinks. So if I get the same drink every day when I come and visit, I expect to have the same results every time and be consistent. Like for you, that's the biggest key is to keep people coming to your business is to make sure you have their consistency every time when that
Yep.
person orders that drink. And I see that because I haven't had a bad drink ever since I've gone there numerous
Yeah.
times. There's always been consistent when it comes to the ratios with the flavors and what you're trying to do with your drinks, and it's really great. And then
Thank
I
you.
the one thing that I noticed is that you switched your roaster, like the beans that you get it from. You were used to get it from Brooklyn Roasting?
Yeah, we've had a couple different roasters throughout the time that we've been open. Because we are such a small business, we have to kind of think about our costs like everybody else does. Coffee just keeps getting more expensive, unfortunately. We shipping times is also really important to us. Like we have gone with certain roasters that maybe, we ordered and it took too long to get there and it was affecting our business. So we've kind of had to switch a couple of times, but I think we're in a good space with what we have now.
And that's awesome. Coffee has gone up because of the whole tariffs that's going on in this world,
Yes.
and that got all knocked out. And, when prices go up, they get used to it, and it's never gonna go back down because
Right.
the effect already happened, and it just like, how do you take that cost and give it to the consumer, or, like, do you, like, cut that cost and eat it up, you know?
Yeah.
Like, how do you work that up? Yeah.
It depends, and especially actually, what's even worse right now is matcha. Matcha has gotten so expensive. A bag that I used to pay, like, $60 for is $100 right now. So, for a little bit, I was sort of eating the cost of the price, like, hikes and was sort of like, "Oh, they'll come back down, like, I'll just sort of stay stable." But we've been raising our prices little bits here and there, especially for our specialty drinks. I think we also don't give ourselves enough credit for, like, the amount of work that goes into some of our drinks. So, lately, having realized that the prices are not coming back down, we have had to adjust some of our prices. But certain things like drip coffee, a small drip coffee will always be $3. Like, it's $2.80. With tax, it's $3. For me, that's really important to me because someone who's coming in to get a small drip coffee usually has $3 in their hand ready to give it to us. And so that is one thing I feel like I'll never adjust. But in terms of, like, specialty drinks, we do have to raise the prices.
Yeah, for sure, and matcha, there's, like, a shortage going on, and it's kinda
Mhm.
hard, and then everybody wants matcha. I just don't see why. Matcha's alright, but
Yeah.
it's just, like it's a new trend, and
Yes.
just like boba tea was a big trend when it came to, like, the whole boba tea thing, then that died down. Now matcha's this whole new trend. When is
Yes.
that gonna die down? Who knows, you know?
Yeah. I don't know.
And there's some things that keep on resurfacing over and over again, like Biscoff, the
Mhm.
cookie butter lattes, those keep on resurfacing.
Yeah.
The banana bread
Yes.
lattes keep on resurfacing, like, the Dubai chocolate. Like, I'm over the Dubai chocolate. Be something creative, create
I know.
something different. Like, when is somebody
It
gonna
is
create
really
a
funny.
different drink that nobody has tried or even
Yeah.
accomplished to make that the next viral thing, you know? Are you gonna be the next
Yeah.
person to do that?
Maybe. Our rainbow cookie latte was really amazing. Like, we had it for February. We got rid of it for a little bit, but I think I might bring it back because it was truly, like, the most delicious thing that I think we've ever come up with, and we partnered with 518 Foodies on it, and we discovered that, like, both of the people who run 518 Foodies are from Long Island. I'm from Long Island, and we love Italian bakeries and rainbow cookies and cannolis. So we've been, like, incorporating those things into our drinks a lot. which I think is really fun. But it's funny that you say Biscoff because I like saw this meme one time that was like, I want Biscoff's marketing person as my marketing person because it's like, how did Biscoff become this like thing that everybody needs to have in everything? Like it's like baked goods, coffees. It's really funny.
Yeah, it is really funny, and like everybody's doing like the viral Japanese
Yeah.
cheesecake, and they're doing the Biscoff cookies, and I'm like, come on, and it just
Yeah.
tastes like regular freaking like
Yeah.
Greek yogurt with Biscoff cookies in it, no
I
flavor.
know. Yeah. It's so weird.
It's just like these trends is just keep on resurfacing and keep on coming back, and I'm just like, I'm waiting for the next best thing. The rainbow cookie latte you guys have, I wanted to try that, I just haven't got a chance to because of the season and the weather that has
Yeah.
been lately with the snow and,
Oh
like,
my god, it's
work-wise.
been so bad.
Yeah, and you know, the good thing is too is, like, a lot of people from downstate come up to the upstate area, and they want that stuff, you know? I'm from the Bronx, and
Mhm.
I used to go to the bakery and get a rainbow cookie every time, you know, in an Italian bakery, and that you
Yeah.
guys had that, I wish I was there for that one.
Well, we'll bring it back just for you.
And that's good that you did that with Jackie from 518 Foodies. She's, amazing. I know she's from, you know, Long Island, and you're from Long Island, and yeah, I need to come up with something on the menu. I need to create something so you guys can put in there and
Do
see
it.
the Daily Brew reviewers.
Yeah, do it. We love to do collaborations like that. Like, if someone has an idea for a drink and they want us to put it on the menu and, like, name it after them.
Yeah, I need to come up with something, definitely. It's just I haven't found anything yet that's gonna hit me that I think
Yeah.
that's gonna be the next best thing, but I'm still researching and experimenting, especially with the coffee bar that I have right behind me, to try
Mhm.
to mess around with that with drinks.
Really into, like, toppings on drinks right now for some reason. Like, I think it's just my algorithm on Instagram, like, is so well suited to what I wanna see that it just keeps feeding me all these, like, lattes with cold foam and stuff on them. But I really have been loving, like, a crunchy topping on a coffee, like, on an iced latte with cold foam. Like, our Lucky Charms latte, we put Lucky Charms cereal on it, and today we overheard a customer that was like, "Cereal is still crunchy, like, I wish it was soggy." And I was like, "Soggy cereal on a latte sounds gross." But we, like, intentionally wanted it to be crunchy 'cause it's kinda cool when you take that first sip and it's like you're eating a bowl of cereal. So I don't know why, but I, like, love putting crunchy toppings on my iced lattes right now.
There was a one spot that did that. It was the counter of 5 Points in Saratoga. They
Mhm.
started doing a lot of cereal milk lattes, like, think like last year, and then I
Yeah.
went there to visit them. I said, "Do you still have this?" They're like, "No." They did
Oh,
all these crazy ones where they just soak the cereal in the milk, and then they just,
yeah.
like yes, and then just give it the flavor, and I wanted to try one so bad, but I just never
Mhm.
got the opportunity to.
Yeah, that's really
What is
good. We did that.
what is the next best thing for what you're gonna do for Broadway Coffee? Like, what's the next evolution that you're planning on as a business owner?
So we are hoping to actually get a liquor license, a beer and wine license, and transition into like evening stuff. Never, we close at 4 or 5. Um, and I would really love to kind of branch into like the dessert and kind of after hours kind of space, see how we can kind of, marry coffee and maybe wine or different fun drinks because we really all enjoy kind of concocting beverages. Coming up with fun cocktails or fun drinks might be kind of the next evolution of that. So that's something that we're kind of working on a little bit behind the scenes, but also this summer, just a lot more fun iced drinks and possibly frozen treats. I'll say that.
Yeah, that would definitely be good. Having those late night, you know, alcoholic drinks, especially in Saratoga in the spring and summertime, when somebody's looking for a crazy drink or something that they can see, like you guys being like a mixologist when it comes to making creative drinks, especially
Mhm.
for something where coffee, and in doing that, that'll be a great concept to even expand.
Yeah.
Def
That's what we
Definitely.
wanna do, and, like, we don't wanna be a bar, but we wanna just be the kinda place where, like, let's say you went out to dinner with a friend and, like, you're not really ready to go home yet and you wanna get a drink, or you are about to go out to dinner, but you're kinda, like, meeting up for a drink before for happy hour. We kinda just wanna be a spot where, like, it's not a bar, but you can have a drink and just kinda sit and relax, and chat with a friend, so we'll see.
Yeah, getting some specialty cocktails over at Broadway Coffee. I would be super
That's right.
excited for something like that.
I know. I would be excited too. We've done, like had some temporary liquor licenses, and we've done just beer, but we've done mocktails, like some really fun custom mocktails for certain events, and that's kinda what sparked the interest was, like, we really loved coming up with those mocktails, and so we were like, "We should continue this and add alcohol to them."
And you get a lot of good feedback when it came to you starting that adventure when you got that temporary liquor license?
Yeah, when we had for Belmont on Broadway, that was the first time we got a temporary liquor license, and we were so busy that day, partially just because there was, I mean, a giant concert outside of our door, basically. People were really looking to kind of find a drink, and Pint Size used to be next door to us, well, 2 doors down, but they recently moved, which I am so sad about, but now there's kind of an open space for a place to get a drink. So, depending on what goes in that space, there's a lot of rumors, but we don't know yet for sure. We might be the only kind of place to grab a drink on that strip.
Yeah. You recently this year, or was it this year or last year, where you had that little hiccup when it came to that whole thing with
The
the
bank.
banking
Yes.
yeah, and then
That
it
was
was featured on
November.
the news.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was featured on the news, which was great, and then how, like, the bank, like, automatically just switched their gears, and it's like, "Oh, we don't wanna be the bad people on this," and then
Yes.
they
Yes.
just did what they had to do. Like, the video that I posted up,
Yeah.
has anybody, like, showed up and supported you and helped you in that way? Did
Oh,
you get
yeah.
any feedback?
Well, there so many people did. There was a lot of people that were like, "Oh, we came to support you because of the bank situation." That yeah, that was in November because that it happened when it was over Thanksgiving.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was, like, right in the holidays, which made it even worse. But yeah, no, it was really awesome to see kinda created this call to action for people to support us. Other people did. Our neighbors, like, even the guy who owns Saratoga Outdoors across the street from us, he called me and was like, "If you need to borrow any money," like, people were just really incredible and really supportive, and it was so nice to see community that we've tried so hard to build actually kind of be there for us. So it was really awesome. So
That is awesome.
we appreciated that for sure.
Yeah, that is awesome that you have such a great community, especially in Saratoga when they comes to helping a local business. That's like the greatest thing in the world to see something like that. And that's what my whole page is all about is to help support a local business. And anybody in need, like
Mhm.
if you need a call for action, I'm gonna be there to make that call for action and get everybody over there. That video like blew it up on
Uh,
TikTok.
yeah, it was awesome. It was really cool to see so many people be like, "Oh yeah, I'll go there." And a lot of people that, like, didn't even know who we were came because of that. So, it's, like, terrible to be, like, a blessing in disguise, but it almost kind of was because a lot of people, who didn't even know who we were kind of inspired by hearing our story or saw it on the news or saw it on your TikTok and kinda came to check us out. So, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's good. Somebody new trying you out for the first time, you're like, "Oh, that's really good." Now it's gonna be like your regular customer, and that's like truly amazing to see something like that for a call for action and just people coming over and helping out, and
For
that's
sure.
a great thing. I'm
Yeah.
actually super happy for that, and I would love to continue to bring more positivity and bring more stuff to local businesses and help them out, you know?
Yeah, it's so important because like we talked about there are those like big chains everywhere popping up and part of what makes our local communities so special are the small businesses, make them so great. And it's hard to be a small business owner. And, people like you that support us and are like trying to share all of our like what makes us special and going and filming content, it really helps and it's really awesome. And I appreciate everything that you do and all the other kind of accounts and, different people that are kind of trying to feature our local businesses. It's really great to see.
Yeah, definitely. And a thing too is like Michaela Hand, she did a video too, and she was like trying to get out to the Saratoga
Yeah.
area. So she like did the video too, and she was asking me about the place. I'm like, yeah, go to Broadway Coffee, and she actually went there, and they went to Bear Cup Bakehouse and did all her video content. Now it's a great thing for her to share that on her page too, because she's got a different audience compared to what I got a
Mhm.
different audience, and it's just great to bring all different audiences from different content creators, and then bringing it to a local business and helping support those businesses.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's definitely awesome. What is the most, like, bizarre drink that someone came and ordered as a business owner when they walked in and say, "Hey, I want this weird drink," and you're like, "I can't believe this person orders something like this."
Yeah, that's a good question. And there's like a couple of different categories perhaps that I'll say because one of the things that really struck me one time was somebody and I've seen other people do this on social media and like tell other people to do it. Somebody ordered a double shot of espresso over ice and then went to like the milk bar and poured the rest of the way of a cup to fill it with milk to make an iced latte, but paid for a double shot of espresso. So
Oh,
they kind of
smart.
smart, but crappy because then, they're like getting over on us and not paying for the full drink that they're drinking. But that was kind of funny. I think kind of the most weirdest thing that I think some people have asked for is really the amount of espresso shots that people have requested. Like, 5 espresso shots. Sometimes I have to be like, are you sure? Like, are you okay?
Oof.
Yeah, like, we've had, like, 5, 6, that's kind of crazy, and there was someone recently who did all of our fruit flavors together, like, they were like, "Can I have strawberry, blueberry, raspberry?" And I was like, "Yeah, but I don't really know how that's gonna taste," and they said that it was great, and I was like, "Okay, great." But yeah, people have very different palates when it comes to coffee too, like, some people are like, "I want really, really sweet drinks," and other people are like, I would want it to taste like, burnt gasoline. So that's funny too, is like seeing people's difference in opinions of like what's good and what's too sweet and what's not sweet enough.
So, I remember last year you came up with the bucket latte,
Yeah.
and that has surfaced with Dunkin' Donuts releasing that, and it's been all
Yeah.
over my feed. So,
Yes.
I just recently just did a video of somebody locally is doing the bucket latte. Are you gonna bring that back?
I think so during the summer. It was funny because we also did a bear or Starbucks did their bear. Because last summer we did a duck cup, like they were like cute little ducks. We did a bear and we did the bucket. So we really like fun shaped cups. For Valentine's Day, we did heart shaped cups. We will definitely be bringing back that kind of fun, like energy this summer. Perhaps the bucket, probably other cute little animal shapes. We'll see. Stay tuned.
I'll be there for the bucket one, and I'll be doing a video on that. I just recently just did a video on one location.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say you have to look at the video, it's on Instagram, but yeah.
I will love because I love that. I think it's so funny. I love when people do like crazy stuff like that. I don't know if you've seen I haven't seen it in a while on Instagram, but it was like people were drinking coffee out of like a glass purse, like a glass bag.
Oh, I seen that.
Tried so hard to find those. Like I was like, I need that. We need to have a glass purse that people can get coffee out of. It turns out that those are actually vases, like for flowers, and they were too expensive. Like I couldn't find them in a way to make it not like $60 for the customer, Like I was like, they're too expensive. But I really wanted a glass purse of coffee. And maybe this summer I'll find one, but
I
we'll
got an
see.
idea. You should
What?
do something Saratoga related for, like, like the crazy hats that the women wear or like
Yes.
a horse or something like that. You should do something like that for Saratoga.
Yeah, we tried to look actually for like a horse kind of shape, like a horse themed cup last year, but we didn't really find anything good. But I'm actually like, I should start looking. It's March already, which is crazy. Like summer's gonna be here before we know it.
I feel like it's taking forever.
I know, but it'll be here because I like remember last year I was looking through pictures recently and we love to also do like chalk outside on the sidewalk, just write like random silly stuff. I found a video on my phone from last year and we were outside doing chalk and we were like wearing short sleeves outside. It was in March. So I was like, okay, we're in March now. Hopefully soon we'll be outside in short sleeves writing with chalk on the sidewalk.
Yeah, definitely. It's just this winter has just been so brutal and it's just taking forever. It's going from like warm back to cold again. And it's like,
I
come
know.
on. I want
It's
to
a
be able to
nightmare.
travel to another coffee shop far away, instead of not doing all the local ones, try to get the farther ones out.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's just like, just too much, too
Yeah,
much.
it's been really hard.
What is your go-to brew every morning? What coffee do you normally drink
Me?
consistently every morning? Yeah, what is your go-to?
Yep. So I actually drink Americanos at my house. I have an espresso machine at my house. So before I even like get dressed in the morning, I need to have an Americano in my hands. That is like my first drink of the day. And usually if I'm at the shop after that, like in the morning, I will have an iced latte as like my second drink. It's really funny because I don't really like sweet coffee drinks at all. Like I am like a iced latte, just milk and espresso. Like I don't usually put any flavor in it. A couple months ago, I put maple syrup in my iced latte and was like, "Oh, okay." Then this morning, Grace made me a drink called the Irish Goodbye right now, which has like vanilla and maybe honey, and then it has pistachio cold foam. And I was like, "Oh, can you make me that?" And it was the most delicious thing I ever drank. And I was like, "Why have I not been drinking fun, sweet drinks this entire time?" I always was just had like a really boring palate when it came to coffee. So now I'm experimenting with fun flavors. But my first drink of the day is always an Americano and no sugar, just a little bit of almond milk.
The hardest thing for me to get the drinks that I want from especially from a local coffee shop, there's not even a local coffee shop that's open at, like, 5 in the morning when I have to go to work.
Yeah.
I'm stuck going to Stewart's to getting, like, a flavor, like, coffee or something for that month, so
I
they have,
like
like, the Irish one.
Stewart's coffee slaps sometimes, you know? Like, there's been times where I work overnight with a family, like, if I'm their postpartum doula, I do overnights. I will be driving home from being up all night at, like, 6 a.m., we'll stop at Stewart's, and their coffee hits the spot.
Yeah, it definitely does. It helps me in the morning time. I actually bring like coffee to work too. So I have like my own specialty coffee that I bring that I
Yeah,
grind up and I'll bring to work and I have everybody trying out. Try this one out. Try this one out. Then
yeah,
everybody at my job's like, what's the best coffee shop around this area? And I'll give them recommendations and stuff like that and what drinks to get.
I love
But
that.
yeah, and I love it too, cause like, it's funny, the people that I work with follow me on Instagram and on TikTok, and they see my videos, and I'm like and they don't say anything to me until, like, later
Yeah.
on, it's like, "Oh, you're the coffee guy that goes and reviews coffee shops." And then they're like, "Oh, yeah, I follow you." I'm like, "I don't even know if you follow me or not." It's just I got so many different things that are going on at once, it's just out of this
Yeah,
world, just watching
that's
that.
I feel like that's funny when people, like, from one segment of your life, like, spill into the other segment of your life, you know? Like, people who follow me like, who follow the shop on Instagram, like, you know, my mom or, like, someone that I know from whatever, and, like, sometimes I'll do silly stuff on Instagram, and I just think it's funny when people from, like, your job or something see you in a different light, you know? Like, it's sort of like, well, he's a different person when he's at work, and then he's got this TikTok. So it's kinda funny.
Yeah, it is kinda funny. So, I know you're going through your whole thing with nursing and stuff like that. I work in a nursing home, and I'm a maintenance director.
Yeah.
And nursing is hard, especially when you work in that type of atmosphere, dealing with
Mhm.
different personalities and people. Are you planning, like are you still sticking with the coffee shop and still doing the nursing and then still doing that as a thing on the side and keep this
Yeah,
coffee shop open?
yeah. Nursing is kind of like the next sort of step in my evolution as a person. Like, I've been working with families and birth for almost 10 years now. Uh, and I really just want to have more skills when it comes to like being able to support people during pregnancy and birth. And I'd really love to be a labor and delivery nurse someday. So
Okay.
I'm kind of like this person who my brain is constantly going and running, and I have always had like 10 different things going on at the same time. That's just kind of how I run. And I can't it's like I love being a business owner and I love my coffee shop, but then I also love like this job that I do, and I can't give up either one. So for now, I kind of just am doing both, and sometimes it is a complete shit show and like it feels unmanageable, but then it kind of always comes back and balances itself out. So I don't want to give up either thing, like my career, quote unquote, and my coffee shop. So for now, we do both.
Yeah, it's always good to have something like that as a backup just in case if something happens, you have another backup. And like
For
me
sure.
is like I got a million things going on in my mind. I got the podcast, doing content creation, working a full-time
Mhm.
job. I'm all over the place, and man, I get exhausted sometimes doing it.
Same.
And this is something that I truly love, and this is my passion, and I wanna make a career out of doing content creation, continuing
Mhm.
with the podcast and getting monetized, and hopefully get sponsorships for my
Yeah.
podcasts and my content in general, and just do this full time. I love it. I love to travel around and
Mhm.
highlighting local coffee shops and the coffee culture itself, and it's just not easy. I think I need to do a little bit more of a different approach on my content, especially my video content. I need to be more, I guess, engaging, I guess. I don't feel like I am, but I don't know. I don't know.
It's
Maybe some
hard.
it is. It
Yeah, it
is.
can be really hard because, it's sort of like it's like acting, like you have to like kinda put on this persona when you're doing things like that. And so I feel like you kinda just have to figure out like what your niche is, but I don't think you're not engaging. Like I don't think you're boring necessarily. So
The thing is too is, like, when I first started my video content to how I evolve now, in the beginning, it
Mhm.
sucked a little bit, but then I think I gotten
Uh-huh.
more and more better and gotten more engagement in my personality. But then again, it's like
Uh-huh.
when you doing this stuff, it's like people look at you while you're, like, doing your video, and they're, like, giving you the stare down, and you're like, "Ugh." I was like, "Ah, like, give me a break. I'm here to, like" I'm doing marketing for a local coffee shop and
Yeah.
supporting them and highlighting them. I think just people don't want a lot of crowds coming into their favorite spots. So if this
Mm.
video goes viral, they'll have a line out the door and they're like, how am I going to get my coffee now? Because now this one influencer just made this whole big, huge thing about this one spot. And now it's
Yeah.
like never ending, you know?
Yeah, that's valid. We have someone who I won't name, but he has like a pretty big following and he has not shared he's put us like in his stories a couple times, but he's sort of like, I don't really want to like feature you because I don't really want it to blow up. And that's really valid because we like I said, like we do get busy, but we have managed to kind of keep this like calm, sort of small shop vibe to us. And we also like don't really we're not big. Like, we have a small space, a very small workspace, and so we can only crank out drinks as fast as we can crank them out, and so if it were to, like, pop off suddenly, we'd be like, "Oh my god."
Yeah,
So, we
but you
like
guys
being
can
small,
do it.
actually. No,
You
we
guys
can,
can
and
do
we
it.
do.
And you got a perfect, like, workspace area where people could just sit down and work and have a great cup of coffee and just be so relaxed. Because just, like, the vibes in there, it's just so relaxing, and it's really great to be in that space, and I loved it. Like, you were my one of my coffee shops that I went to that I gave it a 10 when I had that just, like, that basic I think I had a latte. It was, like,
Mhm.
a nice and it was so good, and I'm like, "Man, this is a 10." And I'm telling my wife, I'm like, "You need to come over here." The first time I the first time I brought her there, she
Uh-huh.
was like, "How come I never been here, and how many times you have told me to come over here?" And
Oh,
then she had your coffee for the first time, she's like, "Oh my god, it's so amazing." And I'm like, "I told you, you need to
yeah.
come with me on more of these coffee adventures where you can see how great these places are." So
Yeah, we
you're
are, like
definitely, like, on her list.
that's awesome. That makes us so happy too, like, it really makes us feel so good when someone's like, "You're our favorite," or, "We love your coffee so much." Like, it makes our day, and we love our regulars, like, the people who come in all the time, and we know their drinks. Some of them try different things, but a lot of people will be, like, sticking to the same thing every day, and so we are just so appreciative when someone's like, "Oh, this is delicious." It makes us super happy.
Yeah, it definitely does. I just love your place in general. Hopefully, it continues to stay open forever and nothing happens. Because if you start going into a path, yep, we're going viral. We're making this go. We
We're
have to keep you
blowing it
open.
up.
We'll blow it up. We have to keep you open forever because I hate to see a small business just shut down just for
Yeah.
something so small, you know? And the thing is too is like some of these small businesses, they don't utilize social media as much to promote
Mhm,
their branding. They have the tools right there. It's just taking your smartphone and just posting anything in general,
mhm,
showing some food, showing some staff, working hard in the back, just creating something and making that happen on your social media platform can definitely go a long way. It might not be big, but people are viewing it, and it's not all about
mhm,
having the followership or having like having the followership is okay, but not having it and the views that just go with it goes a long way.
For
I don't
sure.
have that many I don't have that many followers, but the views and then people seeing it, it's gonna blow up. It just takes time,
Yeah,
you know?
it does. It really is like when I did that story about the situation with the bank, like I didn't even really think anybody would care. I wasn't really even like expecting anything. Like I kind of just was like, you know, I am really in a bad mood right now and so angry about this. And I just feel like I'm going to share with my audience and did. And then it was sort of like this huge thing that I really didn't expect. But it just goes to show that, like, when you show up in your social media as a real human, like, people like to see the people behind the business, and when you are authentic like that and kind of show up and share, people relate to that, and people are more likely to support you when they know who you are. Like, if a lot of owners, I think, are scared to, like, be sort of the face of their brand, and I think they're really doing it a disservice because people wanna see you and they wanna see themselves in you. So it's really important to, like, show up, and even if you're not perfect, like, you don't have to, have a full face of makeup on or, like, have your hair perfectly done. Like, half the times when I'm in the shop, I'm like, "I just rolled out of bed." But it's just important to show up and to be there and to show your face.
Yeah, just being yourself and being true to as you as a human being is definitely works out. And that's what I do in my video content. This is me.
Yeah.
I'm not all about trending and come up with these weird hooks that everybody just to get engagement. I'm
Yeah.
just being my authentic self and just showing and highlighting.
For
And when I saw that story on Instagram, like I think you posted it and I think within seconds it came up on my thing and I looked at it and I'm like, oh my God. You know how many retakes I had to do because I was so like furious on like seeing that happen to you as a business owner
It was
that
awful.
I had to do like 5 or 6 different takes on like how I'm gonna present this video to make this look good so people can see the recognition of what's going on and what's happening,
Yeah.
so it can blow up and then do what it needs to do to bring that audience to you. Was the
Mhm.
That was the one thing that was hard for me to bring all that together, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, but I'm happy to actually bring that and be able to support, your business and help you guys out.
Yeah, it was awesome, thank you.
Is there anything you wanna say, how people can follow you?
Yeah, so we are on Instagram. Broadway Coffee Saratoga is our Instagram. We are not on TikTok, but I always kind of think about starting a TikTok. Maybe we will, who knows? But yeah, we have fun on social media. Come follow us and come see us at the shop because we love meeting new people and we're fun.
They definitely are fun. Their coffee is definitely amazing, and the staff is just so energetic and very friendly. I truly recommend that anybody listening to this is to stop by Broadway Coffee, try them out, grab whatever crazy drinks that they got on their menu because it's phenomenal.
Thank
And
you.
support a small local business because we need to stop buying from corporate chains and supporting local because that's the whole point of this whole social media and podcast is to help a small local business grow and become like the next best thing out there than just being with these corporate places because you can see the difference between staffing in a Starbucks and staffing in a local coffee shop. They're miserable in Starbucks, but they're happy in a local coffee shop because you got
Yeah,
different people you're dealing with. The owners is what makes the business.
for
So
sure.
thank you for being on the podcast and thank you for sharing everything about your story and how it evolved and how everything is in Broadway Coffee and showing everything about what's going on in Saratoga Springs.
Thanks for having me.
That wraps up today's episode of Behind the Roast. A big thanks to Christine from Broadway Coffee in Saratoga Springs for sharing her journey, the story behind the cafe, and what the future holds as she steps into a new exciting chapter in nursing. Stories like this is what makes coffee community so powerful. Real people, real passion, and businesses building around connections. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you follow the podcast, share it with another coffee lover, and support your local coffee shops wherever you can. Until next time, explore new cafes, keep supporting local, and as always, we'll see you in the next podcast.